I love uncured beef hot dogs.
Mhm.
The ingredients label shows no added chemicals, only beef and spices. So, are hot dogs a whole food or would they fall under quality of life food?
That's a good question. So, uncured beef hot dogs, I am fairly certain still include celery powder, or celery extract as a natural source of nitrates, which we've talked about before as nitrates versus nitrites and what the difference is. Um, so they're still considered a processed meat. It's here's the thing with the processed meat studies, red meat versus processed meat studies, like where you draw that line where you count something as a red meat versus count something as a processed meat is really blurry when we're talking about uncured deli meats, which is where I would put an uncured hot dog. And so I think that we don't really have good science separating those two out. Like when we properly separate out red meat versus processed meats, we see red meat, a couple servings a week, health beneficial. More than that, generally health neutral, provided the rest of the diet is, includes fruits and vegetables and is high quality. Processed meats, you see up to about 2 ounces per day, health neutral, and above that, you start to see increased risk of, especially like gastric cancer is kind of like one of the biggies. And it's not really clear. Is that nitrites? Is that um, is that the salt that is typically right? Is it high sodium food? Is it an example of healthy user bias? Because people who eat a lot of processed meats also tend to eat fewer fruits and vegetables and be more sedentary, and they're more likely to smoke and all that jazz. So we don't really have a good answer yet from the literature in the context of an overall whole foods diet that includes lots of fruits and vegetables, if processed meats are actually a thing to worry about. And then we really, really don't have an answer to the question about what about these processed meats that are uncured, like, or that use natural curing agents like celery salt. So that I think is, we don't really have good science to say definitively. But yeah, it is not a whole food. It is just mashed up, mixed with things and put in hot dog tube form. That would at best make it a processed food, if not ultra processed.